So imagine you buy a commercial property, but then later you realize what you really bought was a six-figure cleanup problem. That's what phase one and phase two studies, that's why they exist. And listen, phase one and phase two studies are important to buyers, developers and investors, even important to sellers. So that's what I'm talking about today because, listen, buying commercial real estate is complicated enough without realizing that what you're really buying is a 1980s landfill. Stick around. Hi, welcome back. My name's Joe Brown. I'm a commercial real estate agent with Century 21, List with Beggins, located in South Tampa. Thank you so much for being here with me today. So, in the commercial property due diligence phase, there are things called phase one and phase two studies. So let me break this down for you. Phase one, think about it like detective work, right? It's not intrusive. What they really do is they look at the history of that property. They look at court records, historical records, government records. But what they're really trying to see is if historically there's anything on that site that causes red flags. For example, was that site a former gas station or dry cleaner or landfill? Did that property have underground storage tanks? Or was there industrial operations happening on that property? So listen, phase one studies, they don't confirm that there's a problem. All it really does is points out that, hey, there are some red flags here that need to be checked out. So if phase one testing says, hey, there are some red flags on this property, they need to be checked out. Now, again, remember, phase one doesn't confirm that there's an issue. It just says maybe there's an issue. And that's where phase two comes in. And phase two will take soil samples. They'll test underground water. They'll send it off to the lab. They'll take vapor studies of the air on the property. And they are testing to see if there really is a problem. So it is in phase two that results could show that there actually is a problem. Now, why is this important? So, listen, a commercial deal is all about the economics. And so if you know that there's going to be a lot of cleanup, it changes the deal. It could ruin the deal. It changes the economics. It will impact negotiation price. It'll impact, listen, lenders aren't going to want to lend on property like this. Buyers may not want to buy. For developers, can they do the remediation needed for them to build? And this is kind of like, if you're in the middle of a deal, buyers and developers are excited, hey, we have this land, and then instead of running on emotion and vibes, you're waiting on lab results, which are the real test and the costly test. And so again, just simple. Phase one is research-based, looking at historical records and property records. Phase two actually goes in and does testing and sample water samples, soil samples, vapor samples. So think about it this way. Phase one says, hey, look, there's smoke. Then phase two goes to find the fire. Okay? So think about it that way. Now, here's some real world examples, right? So you're buying a property and you realize, Well, the property used to be a gas station. Well, listen, underground storage tanks sometimes leak and they contaminate the soil. So that's a red flag. Maybe it's a dry cleaner that, again, the use of chemicals can poison the ground. And again, it's those vapors that are causing health issues in the environment. So the cleanup is expensive. I know of a golf course here in the Tampa area that a developer wanted to turn into a community, housing community. Well, because the golf course has been there for 40 years and they've used so much chemicals that they were going to have to scrape a foot of soil off the entire golf course. And the developer said, that's too expensive. We can't do that. So that it is important, those phase 1, phase 2 studies. I've talked about landfills, and that was an actual case. Somebody bought land to build apartments and found out it used to be a landfill and spent a ton of money remediating that problem. Had to dig out all the old trash and treat the soil. So it is a expensive endeavor, and it's best to know going in. As a residential agent, I tell my sellers, hey, listen, get an inspection on the house because you don't want to be surprised at your home inspection. Same thing for commercial properties. If you're thinking about selling your property, get a phase 1 study. It may cost $1,000, $1,500, something like that. Get a phase 1 study so there are no surprises when it comes to the due diligence period. So that's my suggestion to you. Listen, if you are in the process of buying or selling commercial real estate and you have questions about phase 1, phase 2, reach out to me. Go to my website, joebrown-commercial.c21.com. There's a contact me button. Shoot me an email. Let's talk. Let's see if I can help you. If you own commercial property and you're just ready to sell it, give me a call. Let me see if I can help you. And thank you so much for being here with me today. I want to be your trusted advisor, so please just reach out. Let's have conversations. We can sit down for a cup of coffee. So thank you so much, and until next week, take care.